I guess you are a good mod, Chloe. Cody didn't even... I was about to tell you too. I was about to go and tell you. Oh. And then I do this. Okay, and then I need to quickly share this. I'm just gonna tweet that, do that, go back to viewing my dashboard. And there we go. Oh yeah, I probably should show the gameplay now. Hopefully this will load properly. There we go. Welcome everyone to the stream. We are... What, Chloe? Can you not hear me? Can you not? Oh, you can. Okay, never mind. Chloe, you are a good mod, better than my other mod, Cody. Doesn't even show, he won't even show up until like another hour or so. So we are just gonna hop right into the trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Why is my thing down there? There we go.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off...
Chihiro. Chihiro's dead.
Let's talk about the murder weapon!
First we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Oh, there's Cody. Oh no. Oh, Chloe. How was your first day of school?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yeah, Chihiro's dead.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons already.
No, that's
I've
wrong.
been here all.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
That's good.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here.
Because it is.
Let's move on to
Nintendo
discussion of the
helped
culprit.
out with this, Cody, if you didn't know.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is
Whoa.
already quite clear.
That's pretty hostile.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Wait, Chloe, did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to a non-stop debate. Oh boy. Lines of white. Oh, okay. White noises are now going to appear. Okay. Okay. Push A button to attach the silencer, which would. Perfect. Okay. White noise is coming. I hate this part of it. Well, I forgot to change the difficulty settings again. Because I think the one higher up gives me more bullets, so then I have to pick one.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Oh,
No, that's wrong.
me. Also, Kim.
I might know
Something
one reason he could be involved.
Just dissing on Cody.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
To look at
The
it.
why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
His family
More
scares me
importantly,
more.
it outlines
than
all
anything.
the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No.
Boobless.
It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic.
Oh my god.
And it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characters who Genocide Jack case, which is would at large don't know. If I'm not mistaken, the bit is how the victim was
I got it!
positioned.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way.
But there's
So,
a difference.
how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
There's something wrong
There's
with it.
only
though.
one
It's not
logical
Genocide
answer
Jack,
I
sadly.
can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true
True
identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and
Then
no.
no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
That's right for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's just not one person, but she's multiple people, right? Is this Hangman? His Hangman Gambit. Yes, split personality. Is it S? No, it's not S. S. Oh, I did not want that. C. T? I don't know what the correct term is. I? R then. I'm actually just retarded. It's just yes. What do you say? Give it a course.
I refuse to give up yet!
IKT. Sniffs I don't. It could be, right? So we definitely have an S. C? Is it really a C? Oh. Did you look it up, Chloe? Did you look that up?
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm just
But
dumb.
still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Pretty, impressive.
Toko's strange behavior after
I
seeing
sure
the
hell
body
wouldn't know.
is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Tokuka's split personality has to do with her behavior.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. Whoa, it's a dead body. Hey, are you dead? Should've hit her head for me. Look at that face. That's Cody waking up every morning. That's cool. I don't like English that much.
She was acting funny, that's for sure.
It's probably one of my
Melancholy
weakest
tone has
subjects.
completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Just they have control. Yeah. I'll drive it out. The killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
What, Cody?
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
How you can tell them?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
How? How does she sound like Morgana?
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie.
From Persona
Right, Toko?
5? Yeah, see, I wouldn't know the name
You said you
for
wouldn't
that.
tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story.
Little
I
cat.
didn't ask you to.
Oh.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as
I saw
long as
that.
you were
I'll
here,
look at it after
no
the
matter
stream.
what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack ever control ever again. Or have control ever again. I don't know why I did that.
Kept my promise. You would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I
Poor
have to tell you?
Toko.
I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. you just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I
Chloe,
swear
calm
I tried
down.
to control it, but
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
No, she doesn't. There's
Person?
no helping her right now, Cody.
You don't mean.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... I don't know if you want that.
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Yes. What the heck?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Epic. Cody, calm down.
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
That laugh
Intense.
gonna haunt me for the rest of my life now.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy
tongue,
soul
though.
lives another that shines
tongue is
as
so
bright
long.
as the sun!
This is the Murderous Feed Genocide Jack. This is... Wait, Chloe, come back. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go
I
buck
can't wait.
wild all over town!
Wait.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty
Wait, you're actually
maniac,
just ruining it
but
for
life
Cody
is
though
pain,
now.
Right? To live
Can't say
is
that
to
kind of
hurt other
stuff.
people. It's a necessary evil if
Dad,
you want
Chloe.
to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever
Can't
ruined.
believe you did that, Chloe.
So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
as much as I hate to admit it,
Well, I
I'm
love
not the
you,
culprit.
Fury. No, he's not. Don't say that, Chloe.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but there's something that's still bothering. Where she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. We're back in it. Make your argument. Oh. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Oh, I keep on hitting X when I need it. Why?
No, what's wrong? Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
One clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and the stomach. You clearly see the difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So,
could never eat
are you
again.
saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photo genocide cases, all the victims stabbed through their hands. Here you see a clear difference.
I got it!
Suspend her.
Do you remember what
Yeah,
the
she
killer
wasn't
used
good.
to suspend her?
She's dead now, though. We can't do anything about it, Chloe.
They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Ooh, something what?
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
I wonder how she gets the scissors.
Like I said, I'm
where
a
she gets
professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Lolly girl. You like the lolly? Wow, just as in... Wait, what? Let's see. How are you, Chloe? There's matters surrounding genocide. Jack's victims and show evidence. If you look at the names of every victim, what do you notice? I think I figured out.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah, they did. They're all male. 32, 17, 23, 14, and 30 years old. There's no end.
They were all guys?
Yes, they were.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
Be careful, Cody. She might come for you.
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any
Always.
scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you
I
sure
think we all
about
do.
that? Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you!
Nice.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
Lamau. I wish I knew.
have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could copy the Genocide Jack cases. Tsufumi, yeah.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. They're suspicious, very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody's searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Bayaka just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added. Oh my god, another element. Okay, okay, truth flashback. If you're a weak spot and hold it down the Y button, the moment, then you'll memorize the weak spot. First, you can only shoot one single truth bullet. If you shoot the shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from the truth cycle. However, you can use flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or a contradiction, then in your loaded truth bullet, it might be wise to memorize the different weak points. Okay. Have a flashback. It will say if you don't use the flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Monokuma File 2.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
I think I know
there
which
was
one I
no
have
time
to...
for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check.
Oh my god.
What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh my god.
So, you said but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
that's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest
oh my god.
What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
that's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
What? That should be right.
Shoot!
Unless I don't need to use it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
that's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Really?
Shoot!
So it's the first one.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
Oh, you know what?
If you're presented with the opportunity to
I think I know what... I think I know what
The
you
victim
do.
was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Carrying the comment about her being a girl realizes there's a sense how to know before we...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. but he was acting weird. How?
Oh, I didn't mean to hit that.
Presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker.
That's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro.
So of course there was no time. What's so
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So do I need this one or before the body?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird.
I think I need
before we
this
found the
one.
body. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to
That's unnatural.
The victim.
Oh. There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I'm just a big dum-dum. I just didn't know which one I need to take.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
Big brain, I'm telling you.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
Shut up, Chloe, shut up.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because
I had to
Chihiro
think.
was the victim
I
doesn't
didn't know
hold
which
up.
one it was.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Chloe just wants to make me feel bad.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What the fuck is attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered and he's acting like this has nothing to do with
What's
him.
the matter? You're not finished already, are you?
I don't
There
think he
must
can
be
even
more
lift
to
that
it.
dumbbell, to be honest.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between the Kiss case and another Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Baraka is responsible for this. What could it be? Oh, I have it on auto still. Do I have to make a truth bullet? Okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
Yeah.
And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Okay.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
I got it before that
No,
freaking
that's
white
wrong.
noise got in front of it. Oh god.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord...
What?
Oh,
An extension cord?
there we go. Your legs are
Byakuya,
tired? You're that
you've
tired?
used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the
Ugh.
extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
Of course, every
I
time.
intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even evolved. Wait, not even evolved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
We kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still. There's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Joe's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. But does that mean... Can I really accept that Byakuya said has the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something wrong with what he said. Has to be the same
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could be somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
I always see evidence shows the murder took place somewhere else. There is something that was switched between the boys and girls' locker room. There's a lot of things. 2 locker room posters.
I got it!
This one is that one.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Yeah,
the poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
It's Cody's favorite kind.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
Tornado?
Again,
I wonder if they're a real
that
band.
doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, that's not the stain that was scrubbed away. It was moved. Where is it? Where is the boys' locker room carpet? Protein coffee. Cody's favorite. Don't try it, Cody. Please just don't try it.
The stain
doesn't
on the
sound that
girls'
good.
locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Okay, Cody. Have fun.
Does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Oh boy, I can't give you a hug. We live on two different sides of this country.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Cody can give you a virtual hug right now.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
That's right. Got into the boys' locker room somehow. Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room
Yeah,
somehow?
we could, Cody.
I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook.
Oh, not the right one. I thought that was the right one.
Shoot!
Oof.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer after all.
Yes.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Oh. Is it that? Yep, it is.
No, that's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
He deserved to die.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square.
Quitting baseball to become a musician as an age.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
Nope. Yeah, Leon was gonna quit baseball when he got into the Hope Peaks Academy to become a musician.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then,
he wanted to be
I
a
vote
singer.
for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya was the one who did it, really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Because why would you give up on something that you're super good at for something that you're probably just mediocre at?
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in?
You can
There's
practice.
still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
Leon was just a dummy.
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait.
Because I didn't really like Leon.
What do you
to be
think
honest.
you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off to with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm freaked out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Cody, this is for the investigation. You must be willing to do whatever you have to do.
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Oh my god.
Sakura.
Jeez, Cody.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Oh, Sakura? Sakura's an amazing character.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Put her hands briefly together and in a brief pair, Sakura began quietly examining her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
I will, Chloe, after this. Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Yes, Cody, traps are in this game.
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser?
But he's dead.
Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Because before the trial, she fully examined the body.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
Yeah, Kyoko touched Fifi.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do apologize for keeping you waiting.
I mean, that's what she
Now
gets
then,
for touching
let's
another man.
resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
to think Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never crossed my
And
mind.
because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
Yay!
The victim was killed in the boys' locker room
Makoto
and
too
was then
smart.
later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Titillating.
So now everything
What
has
a great
been
word.
connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Ah, he's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Definitely not. I don't think
well,
he can lift that
without
weight.
a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now.
Effing.
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find
I
it
don't know
very
about
hard to
that,
believe.
Cody. I already know who the
Go
killer
ahead,
is.
find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
You're just dumb.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Probably.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who was the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing can be sure we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means that is a guy. The scene of the crime scene was in the boys' locker room. You would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Make your argument. Celeste account. What was it? Oh, okay, yes, I know what Celeste account is. I remember what it is.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Got it.
No, that's wrong.
Too good.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better be going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
Yeah.
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Woohoo! The marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure
Does it?
about that?
I would have to
You
think.
really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's jacket really hold some gloom about the killer? How? Is it really hard to believe? Somehow it's really hard to believe. I don't know either. Celeste account. So this one's probably another truth bullet thingy.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Oh, nope. Okay, I think so. I think I know what I need. I need one of these bullets, but I don't know which bullet exactly.
We know where Chihiro was headed.
Lies.
He was on his way to go exercise.
It's not an exercise.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
I think I need
the specific tracksuit.
Blue tracksuit because.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it
how would
matched
he
the
know
one
it
the
was
culprit
blue?
was wearing.
How would he know it was blue?
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Still not that one, okay. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be this one.
First of all, we know he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the...
I got it! It matched the one the...
So, what you're... The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Okay.
My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
Cause exercise sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Okay.
I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
Or are we supposed to take...
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Or do I not need
First
that?
of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Do I just need Celeste's
So
account?
next we have to ask,
Why did he choose?
What do you mean, the...
I got it! It matched the one...
So, what you're... The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
So yeah, I guess I didn't need that,
No,
okay.
that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into his duffel bag, and I assumed he was heading off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
But because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
no, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility! Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
You're fucked, Mondo. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost as if she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
It's probably the way he was acting.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone!
That was my favorite time.
You've been all over
Rhythm
me,
mania.
judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
The bromance is growing.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
God damn it, Hifumi.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it laying on the ground, so it must belong to
I
Chihiro.
got it!
It's mine. It's
We
my
know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did handbooks? There's only one possible way. By exploiting the bug, hitting its... No. Okay.
Shoot!
Am I just dumb? Then it's by hitting this weak point.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah!
remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession,
then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Very not
Just
good.
tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway,
It is
if you
true.
found the
I never
victim's
knew that.
handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I do. I remember
I might know
it.
someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Oh, he knows. He knows. Or closed into the sauna. It was. I go right for this? Nope. Ew.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe either, but I found something that appears it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh, bye. Okay. There's 3 bullets now. It would have to be...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
Found it. Easy clap.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Oh, almost finished that.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning. That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Closing argument. Alright, Oh, we put this one here. Okay, do that. Is there anything else I need to look at? Oh wait, okay. So we have this one. Chihiro has entered. Or, I don't know. I'm kind of being dumb, ain't I? It has to be this way around. Doing that. And then we put this right here. And then oh my god, there's already an in one. Well, then what do I put right here? Do I put this one right here? And then I will come back to that one. And then he wanted to just mess with everyone. Did that. And then that. Which means we're missing this one. What? Okay, I guess it's not that. It would have to be... It had to be this, right? Yeah, it would have to be that, I believe. Unless it's... Yeah, it's definitely that. And then we have... Girls' locker room. Where they take down... Or not that. Well, probably that. And then... Would it be this? Do we have a dumbbell already? I actually don't know. What would go right here? Do we have anything else? Oh, is that the sauna? Yeah, that's the sauna. Wait, okay, wait. Wait 1 second. I'm just so dumb. This actually goes right here because that's the sauna. And then he comes in with that. That, then he takes that down, putting that up. What goes right here then?
Here's exactly what happened.
Let's see if this is right. I don't think this is right.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
What? So it's... Okay. So, am I really just dumb? So it's that. And then the girls' locker room actually goes here. Which then means this goes right here. Then what goes right here? Because we don't need any of those. Am I thinking about this like a little bit too hard or something? See, that's right, that's right. That's right, that's right. Where is... Oh, I'm putting this in the wrong spot, okay. That's what I was doing. This goes right here. This right there. No. Does it go like... This right here? And then this right here?
The killer is you!
I don't think this is right.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who is apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
What the hell? Is it really? It can't be really this.
The killer is you!
Is it really this?
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though she made her way to the locker. But how could the victim? Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
Which means I probably got this part wrong.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
Oh, wow.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Okay, so I think I know what we need to switch here. This actually goes right here, while this... That's good, right?
The killer is you!
That's me right.
Which is why the killer hurried to try, then removing the bloody poster.
How's that not? Oh, okay. We'll try this again, because I'm just the big dumb.
I refuse to give up yet.
I'll try again. Of course. I'm just a big dumb right now, apparently. Okay. So this one, easy. Goes there. Oh, not that, but where is it? This goes here. This goes right there. Goes right here. Big boy. Okay, not here. Where is it? Where is it? Wait, where did I put? No, that's right. Never mind. That was right. Then this goes right here. And then you remove the poster. Girls' room. Probably did that next. And then we have this. Blood loss. And then Sona. I believe this is how it should go. Unless this is the dumbbell. But we'll see.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident.
Okay.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time.
We can pass this.
That something was a... She made... But how...
I understand, Naegi.
Simple, which is why he...
Because I'm a dummy.
Once in... It seems...
Okay.
And attack. And that's where the bloodstains of...
Okay.
It was...
Act 3. Yeah, we got that right.
Which is why they then
okay.
And finally carrying the corpse
I think
into
I got
the
it right.
girls' locker room.
I think I got the rest right.
The handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl.
What?
After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall.
Okay.
Using one of those,
I got this
a boy
part
could
wrong.
get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Oh, never mind.
And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
A crime scene switch.
That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence.
Oh.
And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Mondo Owada. Complete.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence of Mundo is the killer that's already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to the bullet time battles. Absolutely. Let's talk about a bit about fever time and nega time. During the battle, blah blah blah, if you press the R button, the fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. You can push AY, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But it only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make sure it's the best possible use of your time. Of course, you could always say wouldn't it be fair if you got access to special time, right? So we're also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates nega time during your bullet time, battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit your buttons in rhythm. If you were to active Fever Time at this point, no matter, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. Don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, this opponent won't use. Okay. Well then, good luck. Have fun. Good thing I don't have this set to gentle. I have it set to kind or whatever. Whatever the middle one is.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong.
Oh.
I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen.
Oh.
I refute you. False.
Oh my god, I can't.
Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're
I
corrupt. Really? I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote.
Jeez.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Great.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
What a man.
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Wow, he's a man to the very end. $75. Nice. Let's see. Look at rank A. I'm 2 gig, guys.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Dude, give me all of those Monokuma coins. I can use them for gifts. Ooh, hear that little squeaking sound.
What?
Oh ho ho! This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened, the one who killed Chihiro, was MONDO'S.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kyoko chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to a danger zone, Mr. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mundo's taking a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is a sad story of 2 men. Oh, but before you, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can just hit the B button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength.
You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness. To take in on a fragile form of a petite young girl, he had chosen that as his way out. Now, nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside him, and it was not easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun, here at the school he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which, of course, include Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more willing to divulge. Even though he dressed like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would have been the end. The hardened shell would have cracked, the armor would have fallen away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet,
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, and so the day he made the commitment of to begin exercising, he was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask someone's help. But when he told that person his secret first, and then asked them to help them from there, and the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The bikie game fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promise were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mundo, his honor would make him keep that secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mundo was very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mundo about it will help me give some courage. So he went and asked Mundo to help him to become strong. And that was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mundo's support would he ever be able to become close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mundo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mundo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't it to cover up what he's done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think that was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he made with Chihiro. But how does moving a body keep his secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... He tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mundo did all to keep the promise he made for Chihiro, who'd he also killed. Why? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that was the trigger. That's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having our embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone.
You're wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times do I have to repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards, it's the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. And that's all there is to it. Well, while we're still on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory and secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mundo did? He killed his own brother. Mundo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country trouble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place, because of a certain someone. Mundo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mundo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mundo ever got on a motorcycle. Mundo's brother was the only family growing up. He was the only one Mundo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he intimidated him in everything he did. Mundo was the epitome of the stray-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before everyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and number two, his younger brother Mundo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But then Mundo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang for his brother someday. His brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mundo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mundo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really to be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mundo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why
I
gotta get stronger than Daya. Once, just one time, no matter what, I gotta
don't
win.
fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna come out on top. And that night of Amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mundo challenged him to a street race. During that race, a tragedy struck. Crazy Diamond was this. The kid brother pushed ahead with a reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. And suddenly, laying in his kid brother's arm, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid,
The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together, he kept the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Dio was gonna lose to his kid brothers, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation of what happened. Mundo's lie became the truth. He wanted to to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm
strong.
Yeah.
Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in any instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing our most embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have to have no problem shining the light on his secret. Mundo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let another gang member find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all his guilt I'd been carrying around, it would have all been for nothing. So that's why. Mondo. After I saw Monokuma had on me, my head filled with all kinds of fuzzy uneasiness, and I just started swirling around. I never felt anything like this before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure that what to think or say, but after a while, the fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously, Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me of all this all of a sudden? Huh? Because I mean, I've kept the secret all this time, right? If anyone find out, you would.
But
you're right, but
I want to change.
I read myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy the version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. It felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? Are you saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I would just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try to overcome it. It was some kind of strength I've never had. I was so jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mundo. Armando? I felt like I never heard something, never could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I am strong. Strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that.
When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was starting to get staring at him down on the ground. Hey, I killed him.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid his weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free from his regrets. From the outside world, he doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say as many times as I want. Is that what you want me to say? Unfortunately, I can't just right now because it's time for punishing as is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace, it will be punished.
It's ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mundo Owada, the biker game leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Well, has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh. Hey, look at how cool Monokuma looks now. Somebody literally just came in here to see the dev. And they're probably gonna leave. The Cage of Death? I actually love these punishments, not gonna lie. I love the animations they do for it. Just two looping. Okay. Oh. What just happened? Well, I know what happened. You ever wanted Mundo butter? It's pretty good. For your pancakes? What? I don't even put butter on my pancakes. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives have been taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screen invaded our skulls, we each forced to realize once again. But of course he had to. What a disappointment.
This is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why do you go out of your way to disguise MONDO'S crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made something more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, just like before, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted him coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I took a look inside and saw the corpse.
What?
You mean you actually witnessed a murder? Yes, he was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But it had been, if it had been the end of it, how boring would have that been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene. But damn, man, if we'd had to figure the whole who really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reaching to that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel her sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to form an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I know who I have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that's your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask you, Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next?
You
like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But you know this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment and all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope into despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean.
Damn it!
Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how exciting!
The noble son of a noble family. Surely you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Just let me say this. After I have achieved a complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Tagami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I'll kill you. Temper. It sounds like someone needs a nap. Muko's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro Mundo. But I knew it wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end.
For those who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept multiplying. It was the kind of despair, and it felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship. It felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? Who's the 16th high school student, I mean?
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Boy's Life of Despair. I think I know who the next step is, if I remember correctly. To be continued. Crazy Diamond? Sweet. Of course I would like to save. Ugh. And... with that, we're just gonna end the stream there. So the next stream we'll start chapter 3. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's stream for the trial and stuff. And yeah, I will catch you guys. I will catch you guys in the next stream or whatever. This is Raw Down signing off for now, and I hope to see you guys in my next stream.